on the NCAA Naismith Award. Final fours start Friday. You got the women's side. You have Texas versus South Carolina, and then you have UConn versus UCLA, and then on the men's side you have Houston versus Duke, and then you have Auburn versus Florida. So we're going to jump into the Naismith Awards. That Juju Smith, I mean not Juju Smith, Juju Watkins. That's it. Juju Watkins was the recipient for the NCAA women's side. She had tore her ACL in the second round versus Mississippi State. It's kind of a hurtful thing for women's basketball because you will probably won't have her at all of next season. Hopefully she could come back towards the end. ACL injuries are starting to become, they're starting to be able to recover faster from them, and hopefully she can come back because she's obviously going to be the face of women's basketball next season for college. So she averaged 23 and then she averaged 24 points per game. She had averaged 7 rebounds on 42.6% shooting, which is like 43%. So that's pretty impressive when you average 24 and shoot 43% from the field.
Yeah, and I mean it's someone that you have to have eyes on at all times. You can't let Juju Watkins get away from you, and that was evident this year. And I mean, to be able to put up that sort of stat line in college basketball is difficult in its own right. And I mean, that was a team that was really pushing pretty hard in the tournament as well. And I mean, to lose Juju Watkins in that spot is it's detrimental when you lose a star like that for any team, especially in the late stretches of the season where you feel like they make a real big impact.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because you got Paige Bueckers, who was supposed to be the face of women's college basketball, and obviously when she tore her ACL, that kind of reigned and switched to Caitlin Clark. And you can make the case for both of them too. Who's better? It's like a LeBron and Michael Jordan debate. Who's better? Who's the GOAT? But she's one of the greatest basketball players of women we have ever seen, and I'm going to down that horse that Caitlin Clark is probably the best women's basketball player I've ever seen. Now, I did watch Maya Moore when I was little. I did see highlights of Cheryl Swoops, Cheryl Miller. Seeing the highlights of those women. You had, Elena Deladon when she was with the Chicago Sky. Also seen, Diana Taurasi with Phoenix Mercury as well. So she had a lot of names out there as well. But Tamika Catchings, for the organization that she's in, obviously when you come to viewership and when you think about basketball, women's basketball, you really much think of Caitlin Clark at the moment. But
yeah, and I think that there's a lot of, now that we're starting to see major media cover this side WNBA a little bit more, I think that's where you start seeing a lot of those trying to find a star moments, and every sport has them. Everyone does when they're starting to kind of really take off from a national perspective. And just Caitlin Clark, obviously a fun player, makes crazy shots, and really is someone who can drive. Obviously, there was a little bit of issue in the beginning with just making sure that she could play strongly at that level, but she figured it out and really helped turn that team around in a way. And this is another person that really changed the game, honestly. And I think that there's a lot of respect that goes with that. But obviously, everybody in that league is a competitor, so
oh yeah,
he's going to give it to her nicely.
When you look at when you talk about competitiveness and relentless workhorse, you think about Angel Reese, obviously, with the offensive rebounds. Yes, she misses a lot of layups and she rebounds and puts her own shots in, but you can't really, you can't say her effort isn't there. I mean, she's constantly always on the glass, and it's impressive actually that she can rebound the basketball at that kind of a level, especially on the offensive end too. So